Good day, everyone. I'm happy to greet you at Media Center Ukraine. Olga Tomanova is with you, and I want to congratulate you all on candidacy of Ukraine, a candidacy of our country as a member of the EU. It's the Ukrainian choice, and it was a long path over 8 years, 8 long years, and we were paying and are paying a very high price for it. And I'm really thankful to all the partners that supported this decision. What we prepared for you at 12:30, Taras Shevchenko, Deputy Minister of Culture and Information Policy, will join us, and we will speak about informational security during war. At 1 o'clock, we'll have Ivan Fedorov comments. That's the mayor of Melitopol, and we'll speak about the situation in the city and partisan movement. At 2:30, Oleksandr Khorunzhyy will join us, and we'll find out about the freshest information from the front line. And right now, I would like to invite our speaker, Oleksandr Khorunzhyy, press officer of State Emergency Situation Service, and we will speak about the safety and security on water objects and recreation objects. Please, Mr. Oleksandr. Thank you all. And I join to congratulations. This is a very important event that Ukraine gained candidacy of the EU membership. And we have a lot of friends and partners, meaning the Emergency Situation Service. We have a lot of partners in the European Union, and they help us fight against the Russian aggression. And we're thankful to our partners, to our friends. We are in constant touch with them on a daily basis, and we bring our victory closer together. But today, we're talking about the start of the swimming season, summer swimming season. Can it be started at all, and where we can or where we cannot? I'll give you some statistics. Since the start of summer period, since June, we have 129 persons perished on water, out of them 16 children, and the rescuers saved 22 people. 6 of them are children. It says statistics. It's less than last year for objective reasons, because many of regions did not start this this beach season, and some regions are still occupied from where we did not receive data. But what we would like to say, would like to that we have also threats of fires in ecosystems, and threats on water. Also, there's a lot of ammo that are not only on land, also in aquatoriums, in water objects. And our rescuers, our teams, our EODs are working on demining the territories, not only the land, the soil, but also on a daily basis, they clean the aquatorium from mines and explosives. The statistics is that we have cleaned about 33 hectares of aquatorium, mostly in Kyiv region, Sumy region also. Our colleagues are working. Also Mykolaiv and Zaporizhia Oblast, Zaporizhia region, where they most oftenly work on our EOD specialists on cleaning the aquatoria. 664 dangerous objects were demined. This works of EODs underwater, it's a lot more complicated, because you have to be a professional EOD, and you have to be a diver at the same time. So it takes more time, it's more difficult, but we work on a daily basis. Now, regarding the recreation areas. Currently, in Ukraine, local authorities defined 240 places of mass recreation on water objects. Out of them, 194 have beaches in them. We didn't start the beach swimming season in the regions that were occupied but were deoccupied, or were there is or there were combat. I'm speaking about Kyiv region. Also, city of Kyiv did not open the beaches. Donetsk region, Chernihiv region, Mykolaiv region, Odessa region. So the regions where we do not recommend at all to come to water object, to come to the beach. Also at Sumy region. A lot of regions, really, were the that where the occupation or combat actions happened. Why? It's natural. They could be contaminated with a lot of amount of explosives. And until we clean all the Equatoria, we strongly do not recommend, or I would put it this way, will insist and we recommend that you do not come to those water objects, dear civilians. And the regions that opened this beach season, people have to be aware of one rule. Bathe and swim in the places that are defined by military administrations, by local authorities, just for swimming, for bathing. Why? Because those places that have rescue posts, they have been cleaned from dangerous objects, meaning the bottom as well of this water objects. They have to be supplied with enough rescue posts, and such. They have to be. They don't have to have a swift flow, swift stream, and don't have a steep bottom going to water. So it's about safety of people. So we recommend to bathe and swim in those places defined by the administration, defined by local authorities. And in the regions that I have mentioned, it's not recommended to come to the beaches at all. What our rescuers, what we're doing on preventing the emergencies. Right now we have a large-scale event with UNICEF Ukraine. I want to say that this event, we create joint products and we warn people, we raise awareness of people also via media, social media, via advertisement, street advertisement. We develop materials like this, it's leaflets, warning signs. We hand that to people during the events, conduct raids to raise awareness that bathing and swimming in water objects, it's a pleasant process, yes, but it has certain dangers to it. I would like to say what rules people should be aware of to avoid emergency. Close to water, when you're close to water, do not consume alcohol. It's banned. You cannot jump from tall objects to into water, from bridges, from piers. Do not leave children alone. You have to explain to your kids also the rules. You cannot swim behind the buoys, further than the buoys. The main rules. You cannot bathe and swim when there is fast stream. The basic rules that people have to be aware of to have proper rest and have to have calm rest, calm recreation. I'd like also to say about the seashore, especially it's related to Odessa region, because also we do not recommend entering water, really, because Equatoria is mined. On the 11th of June, in Khorunzhyy Odessa region, we had an emergency. Male with his buddy, with his friend, they went to water and they exploded on explosives. His friend luckily survived, but the guy just died. Several mines were brought to the shore, by the sea. It's a permanent process. People have to be aware that it's very dangerous to bathe there now. So they should not enter water. They should not enter the sea. Regarding the woods recreation, we know that people have rest not only on water objects in the regions that you mentioned when it's banned to have rest at water objects. Also, it's banned to have rest at forests as well. Yes, it's banned for the same reasons. For the same reasons, the territories can be mined. It's about 300,000 square kilometers. They're contaminated with explosives, and all the territory has to be cleaned. And 19,000 of square kilometers they're included of Equatoria are included in this figure. So, and all that area we have to demine. And first priority for EODs are infrastructure objects, naturally, in the occupied cities. Residential area, firstly, roads, etc. And the next line is woods and fields, which first we do what has a highest priority, but then secondary. We understand that everything is important, but the amount of EOD specialists does not allow us to cover all the territory, which is understandable. So the demining is an ongoing and gradually is done. How much territory did you clean for? Did you demine for today? For this day, we have the following figures for demining. Cleaned, demined over 62,000 of hectares, and destroyed over 145,000 of dangerous objects. Out of 2,000 of them are aviation bomb. Just imagine the amount of bombs that were dropped on us from the enemy. And in addition, 602 kilos of explosive substance was destroyed. Questions, please. Who can inform? There is a question. Can you inform us for how much time would it be needed to demine all the water objects of Ukraine, even if we're not speaking about temporarily occupied territories? We're informed of that. The Minister of Interior, Dmitry Monastersky, was speaking about. We're speaking about period of time up to 10 years. Up to 10 years. That's optimistic figure. Why? Because we don't know what's happening on the territories where there's active combat right now, and what time we would need after we free them from occupants. I'm speaking of Kherson region, I'm speaking about part of Donetsk region, Lugansk region, part of Kharkiv region, etc. So 10 years, it's optimistic scenario, and I'll tell you more. We're still working on demining of the territory after the First and Second World War. Still after we demine the territories after military aggression of Russian Federation, we also, this obsolete ammo we find daily from the old wars. Also had information from Emergency Situation Service that Poland will send 100 of rescuers to us to help us. How many countries help us, and do the foreign specialists help us on demining? We have a center created that operates constantly with international partners, and depending on the capabilities provided by certain countries, we study their capabilities, and we select the candidates for conducting certain operations on demining. Naturally, the countries, they are willing and ready to help us. Not only Poland, also Poland, but not only Poland. Also Canada, also other specialists. There was an application for Turkey, by the way. There was a Turkish application, by the way, but there are many. But we have to be aware what operations are done by certain specialists to involve them in certain places. Separately, we operate with international partners and organizations such as Holotrust, Danish Group, and so forth. After active combat is over, after we free our territory, it's indubitably that those specialists will work here in Ukraine to help us clean the territory from this lethal and dangerous object.
Rex, could you comment on UXO?
Sorry,
No problem.
one moment, please.
Could you comment on your agency's UXO education outreach? Are you the only agency that does that? I saw, I think it was 2 weeks ago, you had tents out in the square with all the Russian armor. And they were only there for 1 day, but I was curious, is that going on around the country? And again, are you the only agency responsible for that, or are there others as well for UXO education?
Thank you for the question. We're not the only agency that educates and conducts that work with children, for instance. However, we proactively involved. We're one of the main. There is Ministry of Education that educates children. There is a Ministry of Reintegration as well. We're just actively involved, and we're just actively cooperate with international organizations that help us with printed materials, with video content, and we really appreciate that. Speaking of cooperation with UNICEF in Ukraine, and all those organizations, they work as a single mechanism. We have elaborated a certain program, and I'm speaking of OSCE as well, of Danish Group, of Holotrust. All those organizations, they help us with demining and will help. They conduct certain educational events jointly with us. We're not the single organization, but we also put effort together with them, with others, for people to be able to detect ammunition. Secondly, make correct actions when they detect them. And thirdly, be aware where to call, where to address, whom to address. We always say, you found ammo, you found something dangerous, you found explosives, you found something suspicious, do not approach it. Rule of thumb, do not approach us. If you are near, just go back with following your footsteps. Just go away from it and call 101 or for rescuers, or 102 for police service. Simple rules. You found it, don't touch it. Notify. Professionals have to deal with demining. Right now, Emergency Situation Service is actively increasing the personnel of EODs to faster and more professionally demine the territories that were contaminated by ammo. The Chamber of Ministers of Ukraine agrees on increasing the personnel of Emergency Situation Service, and we actively train additional groups of people to conduct those works on mine territories. Thank you very much. Oleksandr Khorunzhyy was with you, Speaker of Emergency Situation Service. Please stay with us. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.